financial problems, elder law, criminal law, tax problems, business matters, divorce, personal injury, bankruptcy, your life, your reality. Life is complicated. There is the law and there is reality. Welcome to Law and Reality, sponsored by THAV GROSS. Now here's your host, Ken Gross.
Welcome to this segment of Law and Reality. Today's topic is Chapter 13, Save Your Home and Keep the Student Loans from Killing You. Brian Small, good morning.
Good morning, Ken.
Jeffrey Linden, good morning.
Good morning.
Joe Frizard.
Good morning, Ken.
Tabasco Law. Everything good?
Really good.
All right, before we get into this, we have a little bit of a diversion that came as a result of our pre-conference for the show. I want to discuss very quickly, is it more beneficial to drink Diet Coke in the morning or coffee? Do you drink Diet Coke in the morning, Mr. Small?
Specifically, Coke Zero is my favorite, yes.
And is there a reason why Coke Zero versus Diet Coke?
Yes.
And what is that?
It tastes more like Coke.
Okay. And why do you drink Diet Coke in the morning?
I don't like coffee.
Okay. So it's your stimulant?
It wakes me up.
And Mr. Linden, what do you do in the morning? Coffee or Diet Coke or nothing?
I like coffee, but I don't have to have the caffeine. You don't tell me it's decaffeinated. If you don't tell me it's not caffeinated, I'm just
Doesn't matter.
happy.
You just like the coffee.
I like
taste.
the coffee.
Joe, what about you?
Nothing.
Nothing. Me, I need two 16-ounce glasses of cups of coffee that are made Starbucks dark with 2 shots of espresso in each one. If I don't have that,
please tell me
I
you
would
make
prefer
that
to just sleep through the day.
Do you make that at home?
Yes, I do. I
thank
make
God.
that at home. I do not.
Because
It's
if we
not
have to
an
go to
eight-
the coffee store
It's
again.
not an $18 purchase
Right.
at the store. I mean, I prefer it at home actually. So it came from the black guy at Starbucks, which used to be coffee with
a shot.
2 shots of espresso. So I make my coffee with my Starbucks, and I take my Nespresso for my 2 shots.
And you do
I
this-
love it
And you do 2 of those every day?
every morning. Yes, I do that
32
twice.
ounces of coffee.
Sometimes 3. But after 1 o'clock,
Explains a
no
lot.
coffee.
It does explain a lot.
That's
Wow.
why I am most productive in the morning.
Okay.
and least receptive to phone calls because I'm busy working. All right, now back to credit card debt. So we know, or back to chapter 13, we know credit card debt, we've just been talking about it on other shows, has surpassed $1 trillion. We also know that student loan payments are back. Income is kind of like income before inflation came up and credit card interest rates went from 12% to 25%, before student loans, which were at 0 since COVID. And what's the average student loan payment?
The average student loan payment is $400 per month.
So we've got student loan payments, we got credit card debt is up and interest rates are high. Our expenses are up, our income is stable. When our income was stable, we were spending every penny we earned.
Right, but now we just added back in $400 a month in expenses because student loans are now required to be repaid. So, or whether it's $200 a month or $400 a month or $600 a month, those people that have student loan payments, they now have to make them again. And if you had 0 left over at the end of the month, before you had to restart your student loans, you got to figure out where that money's coming from.
So your suggestion would be just cut out Starbucks, I suppose?
Oh, well, yeah, but that's a whole show on budget management and stupidity.
Okay. So you're suggesting...
Just the 32 ounces of coffee.
All right, so here's I want to put things in even a broader perspective, because we were saying if you were spending every penny that you had just to maintain yourself before you got layered in with the student loan payment coming back and perhaps a greater minimum payment on your credit cards,
And don't
because
forget
you've
an
tapped them out.
increased car payment because cars are so much more expensive now.
$13 average new payment, average used car is something like $550.
$526, I think.
It is crazy. But here's the bigger point. Let's go back to the 3-point retirement plan, which is something near and dear to me. Own your home free and clear. Have zero debt and have some cash in the bank at the point of retirement. 3 simple concepts that will only happen if you pay off the house, don't refinance it 100 times so that when you're 65 you still have a 30-year mortgage with 30-year payments to go. You have some money in the bank, and how do you get to zero debt? No, when I say zero debt, no car payments, no credit card payments, no store credit card payments, no nothing. If you can do that, you can retire comfortably.
And for most people, that's living in a fiction world. So,
but it shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't be.
And let me tell you, when I was 40, I never worried about it. But when you get into your 50s, you start thinking about it. And when you get into your 60s, you start thinking about it real seriously. And when you get into your 70s, you're living it. And if you
so how does it feel to live it?
It feels good because I believe
he's in it.
Because I believe in the 3-point retirement
Apparently
plan.
you aged yourself.
And I attained the 3-point retirement plan. Yeah, but only by a year.
Yeah, well.
Okay, so it's marginal. But if you don't do it, it's the consequences of not doing it that are so serious.
Mm-hmm.
Being retired or reducing your workload so you're working on a part-time or slow basis just for supplemental income. It's so important at that age to take money problems off the table. If you have to live in that retirement mode with money problems, the rest of your life is misery. At some point in your life, you're entitled and you should be able to relax and enjoy the end stage of your life. And that it can only happen if a lot of things good have to happen for that to occur, but one of the things that's essential is you can't have money problems. If you have to worry about money and begging from your children for them to help you, you're going to have anxiety. And that's what you want to get rid of. So when we come back from the break, I want to figure out Chapter 13 and everything else, but I want to keep this broader picture in mind.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP.
I was married for 57 years before my husband died.
Simasco Law had established a trust for them before this happened.
There's so much to do in the beginning, but after about a month, you're kind of alone.
We deal with estate planning and trusts every day.
If you continue to have good support and know that your finances and your estate is in order, that's one thing that's so comforting. I would just highly recommend Simasco Law.
If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
All right, so we're back. All right, let's do a case study to illustrate Chapter 13 and the student loan impact issue. Okay, here's our clients, Ron and Sandy. They got lots of problems. They're 9 months behind on their house payment. They got $80,000 of credit card debt. They have an $80,000 student loan. They have $20,000 in medical bills. They owe $20,000 in back taxes. In 2017, $20,000. Their sale date on their foreclosure is October 15th. Their income, net of taxes, is $76.50 a month. Their mortgage payment's $3,000 a month. Back taxes, they've been paying $750. The credit card payment on $80,000 of credit card debt is $2,000 a month. The student loan payment's $500 a month. Medical bills $450. Utilities $500. Cell phone, cable $550. 2 car payments $600 and $550. Gas, auto, food $1,000. Right now, their expenses are exceeding their net income by $32.50 a month. So they're way underwater.
But they're not.
Okay, walk us through. How does are they a Chapter 13 candidate?
Yes, they're absolutely a Chapter 13 candidate. First of all, they have enough money coming in to fix the problem. And we start off with, what's our first goal? Our first goal is to catch the house up and save the house from foreclosure. By filing a Chapter 13 bankruptcy before the date of the sheriff's sale, we stop the foreclosure, we allow the borrower to restructure the debt. They can use up to 60 months to catch the house up and pay as little as 0 cents on the dollar on the rest of their debt.
Right,
that
so
includes the taxes, the medical bills, and even the student loans. With the caveat, the student loans are going to survive the discharge of the bankruptcy and will still exist.
All right, so I want to talk about student loans more in a second, but I just want to get back to the important thing is they have to file this case before the sale date, which is October 15th. So they have to move quickly at this point.
Right.
Okay. If they wait till October 16th, will Chapter 13 help?
A Chapter 13 would deal with all the other debt, but they will have lost the house.
So that's take home. If you're watching this and you see on the screen, big warning, you must file the Chapter 13 case if you're facing foreclosure before the sale.
Yep.
So, make sure if you're listening, watching, you understand that, because it's not, everybody likes to procrastinate, but don't procrastinate so that you're calling. What if they call you on October 13th?
I'll get them in on October 13th or October 14th. As long as I can file the case, it takes very little time to file a case to do an emergency petition.
You just file it.
You have to take
and then you fill out all the schedules later.
Yeah, you have to take a class in credit to get a license to file Chapter 13. It's the government requirement. But once you get that,
you're talking about as a lawyer, you have to take a class. I thought you had to be a lawyer.
The borrower.
You only took one class and you're filing Chapter 13.
The borrower.
How long have you been doing this? An hour?
Yeah, at least. The borrower has to take a credit counseling class.
So how long does that take?
About 40 minutes.
Okay, so if they come to you on October 15th, an hour before the sale, you can get it done. They can get their 40 minutes in. You can file it.
Okay, so
What if the internet's not working?
yeah, then your case isn't getting filed.
There you go. So do you get an excuse for that?
No.
So if there's a thunderstorm and you lose internet, so
Which is why don't wait till the last second,
Right.
please.
You know, come in a couple days early for sure. Okay. All right. So now, so how does it work? What is your payment? Do you get rid of the credit card?
You get rid of your credit card debt. You get rid of, in this case, the back taxes because they came due more than 3 years ago. You get rid of all of the unsecured debt.
Medical bills?
Medical bills go goodbye.
So how does the student loan work?
So student loans, we have a couple of different opportunities in Chapter 13 now with student loans. One, we can pay them just 3 basic treatments. We pay them as a general unsecured debt. They get paid a portion of on a pro rata basis with all the other unsecured debts. So if there was $100 a month available to the unsecured debts.
Hold for that, because look at the chart. It's up on the wall. If I don't have to pay the back taxes, the credit cards, or the medical bills, so I have an extra $750 a month.
Right.
So can I pay the $750 a month against the student loan because that's non-dischargeable, or do I have to share that with the evil, rotten, stinking credit card companies
So
that I love and adore?
Generally, the treatment is normally they get shared pro rata with the credit card company.
Well, that's not good.
However, there is case law in this district that allows us to treat student loans differently and separately classify them and pay them more.
Because that would be better. That way we give the credit card companies 0 or
Well,
close to 0.
Yeah, I
like,
mean, it's a
$100 a
negotiation.
month
It's not.
or-
It's a
If you
negotiation.
could give
not with-
$100 a month for the credit card companies and $650 for the student loan, that would be a good thing because you're going to still be stuck
Absolutely.
with the student loan.
But remember, most people that come in to need Chapter 13 don't have any available money to go to any of the unsecured
So they wouldn't have
creditors.
that
So we
$750.
treat them pro rata and they get like 1%, 2% max. But if there's enough money there, we can treat the student loan differently. And because of some changes in the law in 2023, the Justice Department is now allowing for the discharge of certain student loans, even in Chapter 13. So you may have to treat them as a pro rata share, but at the end of your bankruptcy case, they will conceivably go away forever if you file and win the adversary complaint.
Are you saying that the Justice Department is weaponizing the government to eliminate student loan debt?
Under the current administration, should the administration
political at all.
should the administration change to be, say, a Republican administration, I do believe that
That benefit might go away.
That benefit will go away.
Okay, but in the meantime, it's there. How do you get rid of that? What's the house payment?
So the house payment stays the same,
But
and then we
your
take the
arrearage.
arrearage and we spread it out over 60 months. So
Okay.
whatever it is, divide it by 60, and that's what you need.
All right, so
Can you
what?
when you're structured?
Pause that thought until after the break.
You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirschner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
Is the debt piling up? Struggling to get by?
It's all about preserving future income. Bankruptcy is one option. When it's right, it's the least costly, most effective way to save your home, eliminate a second mortgage, and wipe out credit card debt. But you need to address the problem now.
We help people with bankruptcy. Call the experts.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
Pat was recommended by a friend who insisted that we really needed a trust. And he said, I know somebody who will do a good job for you.
At Samasco Law, we deal with estate planning and trusts every day.
We had excellent service from Samasco Law. Any questions we had were addressed. Our estate is in order, and it had been set up so well that nothing needed to be done. I would just highly recommend Samasco Law.
Time for announcements. Remember, you can always come in for a free consultation. Just call 888-235-HELP or go online and sign up. Debt issues, tax issues, estate planning issues, business issues, elder law issues with Pat, disability issues with Jeff. Sign up at lawandreality.com or call 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-4357. Also, go online to our website to get our free reports. Resolving Tax Problems, The Real Solutions. Bankruptcy, Is It Right for Me? How to Save Your Home from Foreclosure. Business Formations, Loans and Grants for Small Businesses in Detroit and Michigan. And the Retiree's Guide to Social Security. I want to thank our sponsors, THAV GROSS, Samasco Law, Kirshner Law. Now back to the show.
Tax problems are major problems. Don't let the IRS levy your wages and seize your assets. There is a solution.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
If you're behind on your taxes and owe money to the IRS, call THAV GROSS.
We've been solving tax problems for 32 years. We stop wage levies, resolve unfiled returns, and obtain the best possible settlements.
Call THAV GROSS today, 888-235-HELP. Carrying too much debt? Resolve your debt. Call THAV GROSS.
You don't need to be broke, and you don't need to hit rock bottom. If you have income and you're struggling with debt, dump it. Think about the next 10 or 20 years. If you do what the banks tell you, you'll have nothing to retire with. There is a solution.
Don't waste your future. Call THAV GROSS. We're experts at eliminating credit card debt. 888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP. You can't work. You have to deal with pain and stress. Worse yet, our system for applying for disability benefits seeks to deny you the benefits you're entitled. Jeff Kirshner is an expert in obtaining disability and workers' compensation benefits for his clients. You need to call Jeff before you apply or after you're denied to get the benefits you deserve. 888-235-HELP. 888-235-HELP. If you're retired and in a financial crisis, there is a way out.
It pains me when I see a retired couple exhaust their savings by paying credit card bills and for a home hopelessly underwater.
THAV GROSS specializes in helping retired people in financial crisis.
You just can't keep paying until you're broke. You need to address the problem now.
888-235-HELP. That's 888-235-HELP.
We're THAV GROSS. Our firm will solve your problem.
All right, we're off pause.
So,
You had a question.
I
Jeff.
did. So when you're restructuring your unsecured debt and moving the payments and paying the unsecured creditors pro rata during the period of the Chapter 13, and you have a 9-month arrearage, like in your mortgage in this case, can you load the money that you're not paying the general creditors back to catch up on that arrearage
So
in the
that's
mortgage?
actually how Chapter 13 works. We pay the most important creditor first and the least important creditor last. So if you take a look at your pool, right now when you pay your bills, everybody wants a little piece of the money, right? Citibank wants something, Chase wants it, your mortgage wants it, and you got this pool of money, and by the time you get to this last few debts, you're out of
So
money.
what's the priority?
So house is the number one priority.
Because it's a secured debt?
Right. And it's the most important security.
What about car payment?
Car is the second most.
What's third?
The IRS in the state of Michigan, priority
Wait,
debts.
what about the lawyer bill?
Well, the lawyer bill actually gets paid first, to be quite honest. But you asked what's the most important, and to the client, their home is the most important. So we pay instead of paying spokes on an umbrella where the money's going down to spread evenly, we're paying it like a waterfall.
What's
top
last?
Bill, last?
Yeah.
Credit cards, medical bills, any unsecured debt.
What's lowest between credit cards and medical bills?
Nothing. They're the same.
What's lowest between MasterCard and Visa?
Nothing. They're
What's
absolutely the
lowest
same.
between Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Huntington, and DCFU Credit Union?
Whichever one doesn't hold his mortgage.
Can I just find the gum that's on the bottom of my shoe and scrape it off, because it's all the same to me.
They're all us. They're all lowest. They're equally low.
Unsecured debt is unsecured debt, whether it's Visa, MasterCard, or American Express,
Or the dentist bill.
or the dentist bill, or the money that you borrowed from Aunt Sally. It's all the same.
Oh well, but I want to pay Aunt Sally
But you
back.
can't. That's one of the.
Can I pay her
caveats.
back afterwards?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Just because that's between me and Aunt Sally
That's
after my
right.
case is over. So you can still honor your obligations to family if you choose to.
Yes.
Okay.
But the key is paying debts in order of importance.
What about my credit score? Let me tell you. Let me just.
No,
We got
stop.
2 minutes.
Who
What about my
cares
credit
about
score?
your credit score?
Every client that comes in the
Right,
door.
and they shouldn't, because when you file a bankruptcy, when you're already in that position, your credit score is already taken a hit. The only thing your credit score does after you file bankruptcy is go up. It heals, it gets better, and you will be eligible for credit in the future.
Then
For-
why does the financial industry and all these articles and commercials make it sound like don't file bankruptcy because it'll ruin your credit score?
Because they want to scare you into paying them instead of not paying. It's as simple as that.
Here's how I summarize it. I completely
summarized
I
it.
completely agree. Number one, I completely agree with you. All those articles and all those statements that are being made are sponsored by the financial industry because they know if you don't file bankruptcy, they will receive a greater return on their debt that they've loaned to you. Couple that with, keep in mind, when we watch television and see commercials, I venture to say that 40% of the products that are offered on commercials are really not worth the money that they're doing. Some things are. I mean, the drug companies have all of their commercials, and we need the right medications.
You think it's
But
40%? I would say
so-
it's more like 80% aren't
So
worth it.
much of what is advertised is garbage. And sometimes I watch and I say, I'm watching the news network, and I say, how can they allow this company to advertise? And the answer is because they want the money. If the company is willing to advertise, they will get on TV, and then it's up to the Federal Trade Commission to catch up with them, which happens every now and then. But like, I don't know what the percentage is, but a big percentage of what we are told, commercials, articles, the web, is garbage. And it's up to each of us to read and identify truth from fiction. You can't be told what is true. You have to figure it out yourself.
You know, as we conclude, one of the biggest questions I also get when dealing with bankruptcy in Chapter 13 is, will I ever get a car loan? Will I ever get another credit card? And the answer is completely 100% yes. Even during the Chapter 13, we can get you those vehicles to help and get you
And those
into the
were my
credit
last two questions. Have a great week. That's a wrap. We'll be back next week with Law and Reality.